Mead is currently sitting at 1,064 feet, but that number is a thin veil over a dark and approaching technical disaster. To understand why every hydrologist in the American Southwest is losing sleep, you must understand a terrifying physical limit known as the state of a dead pool. Imagine a massive pitcher of water with a spout near the bottom, where gravity naturally pushes the liquid out as long as the level remains above that opening. But once the water drops below that crucial threshold, the spout becomes useless, and the liquid trapped inside stays there forever, unable to move without massive external energy. For the Hoover Dam, this fatal threshold is exactly 895 feet above sea level, a point where the massive concrete structure essentially becomes a giant, silent wall. At this dead pool level, not a single drop of water can flow through the massive intakes by gravity alone, and the 17 giant turbines will stop spinning forever. This means the lower Colorado River, which sustains millions of people in Arizona, California, and Mexico, would simply dry up and cease to exist as a living waterway. Currently, we have a buffer of about 169 feet, which might sound like a lot until you realize how quickly a changing climate can steal that water. In the single 2-year period between 2020 and 2022, the reservoir lost more than 100 feet of its total depth due to severe and relentless drought. This leads us to the most heartbreaking paradox of modern engineering, where Las Vegas has become the global leader in water conservation but is still losing the war. They have successfully recycled 99% of all water used indoors and cut their total consumption per person by nearly 60% over the last 25 years. Nevada now leads all 7 states in the Colorado River Basin by returning 85% of their treated wastewater directly back into the lake to be used again. They have even banned non-functional ornamental grass, effectively turning their city from a desert oasis into a high-tech fortress of efficiency that should be winning this fight. Yet, despite these heroic efforts, the city is still vulnerable to a monster that no amount of engineering or human policy can ever hope to recycle. Atmospheric evaporation. As the average temperature of the Mojave Desert rises by 2 degrees Fahrenheit, the sun literally claws hundreds of billions of gallons of water directly out of the lake. You can filter sewage and you can capture rain, but you cannot recycle air once it has stolen the moisture and carried it away into the vast, dry horizon. This is where human will meets the cold, hard wall of physics, a place where the numbers on the gauge simply do not care about your billion-dollar casino lights. The residents of Las Vegas are realizing that being the most efficient city on the planet might only buy them a few more years before the desert takes back. If the lake cannot be saved by saving water, then the city must find a way to reach deeper into the abyss than any human has ever dared before. In the year 2014, 600 feet beneath the surface of the earth, a mechanical monster was screaming through the solid, unforgiving rock in absolute darkness and oppressive, suffocating heat. The temperature inside this subterranean hell climbed toward 100 degrees, while the crushing water pressure reached 15 bar, which is higher than the crushing weight of the very deep ocean. This machine, a massive steel titan weighing over 1,200 tons, was the only thing standing between the survival of Las Vegas and the total collapse of its only vital water source. Engineers called this daring mission Intake Number 3, a project so complex and dangerous that many experts in the field initially believed it was an impossible feat of modern human engineering. Their objective was to dig a tunnel 3 miles long to reach the very bottom of Lake Mead, ensuring that water could still flow even if the lake levels dropped significantly. The initial construction contract for this underground tunnel was $447 million, but the entire system eventually cost approximately $1.5 billion to finally complete. The specialized tunnel boring machine used a cutting head 24 feet in diameter, grinding through layers of rock that were saturated with pressurized groundwater that threatened to flood everything instantly. This mechanical giant broke world records by operating under extreme pressure that would have easily crushed a standard submarine, proving that human ingenuity can thrive in the most hostile environments. At the end of this tunnel, they had to lower a massive steel and concrete intake structure weighing more than 1,200 tons onto the murky floor of the deep lake. To secure this colossal structure in place, crews had to pour over 1,000 truckloads of specialized